Okay, guys, welcome back to another DreamWorks video. And by DreamWorks video, I mean review. This time we're gonna be looking at The Boss Baby. Although I called it Boss Baby. The movie, I think, is actually called The Boss Baby, with the word "the" in it. I just called it Boss Baby. My bad. This won't be the only mistake in this video, but this other mistake is actually something I decided to keep in because I'll explain why when we get to it. But if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1K subs. 1K subs. If you guys can, get me to 1K subs, I'll give you guys a super reward video. I already owe you guys one for 500 subs. I just haven't got to it yet. It won't be the super reward video for you guys, but it'll be a super reward video. I believe right now I'm at 516, not 60, 16 subs. So thank you guys for the support. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I also, speaking of babies, I got my own, DaVinci art thing. I'm making art on there. I don't know how long I'll be doing it for, because, I'm not really the biggest fan of the program I'm using right now, to make it, but it's not for babies, it's actually the opposite. It's for, a mature audience. So, for people who are older, if you're okay with your kids looking at that stuff, but I wouldn't probably recommend it. It's probably not great. There's certain things, like, even as I was a little kid, I would do, like, my dad let me watch Family Guy on all that, but this art kind of shows off kind of, more mature stuff. So, yeah, but, without any further ado, though, let's go ahead and get into this review, shall we? So, The Boss Baby. At last, we finally get to this film here. And, this is one of the last films to have the older DreamWorks logo. But the one that we're currently at right now, because technically they had the daytime logo for a while. I'm not entirely sure, though, if they'll keep that logo or not. Like, on the DVDs, when a new one comes out, I'm honestly surprised they kept the daytime logo in general, and they didn't just use the nighttime logo and use the remixed version from Shrek. I'm surprised they didn't do that, but I figured they were gonna maybe use it for How to Train a Dragon, because that movie was in development and the trailer actually had that logo, but I guess I was wrong. It actually used it all the way up until they partnered up with 20th Century Fox. Because after this movie, we have Captain Underpants, and then, Universal takes over, DreamWorks completely. They buy it out. So it actually gets sold and all that, so that'll be interesting to kind of talk about the films afterwards. I've seen some, but some I've not seen in a while. And one of those films I have not seen in a while, not under Universal, but the next film will be, the next one's gonna be, Captain Underpants. I've not seen that film in a long time. I actually have not seen it in quite a few years. I remember not being the biggest fan of it, though. Like, I remember liking the Captain Underpants hero, but, I don't know if I don't remember, caring for it a lot. But I also was going through a crap ton of stuff around that time. Because I mentioned in the past that 2017 was the absolute worst year of my life. It was awful. A lot of people would say 2020. Luckily for me, 2020 wasn't too bad, for me at least. I know it was for other people, but 2017 was the worst for me. It was the absolute worst. That was the year I lost all my friends. I had to move to a different school, lost all my scripts, because I talked about this in the past. I'm making scripts for my TV show and all that, like my TV show stuff and all that. I had to redo all that stuff. Luckily I did remember a bunch of it, but still, I was actually gonna redo some of them anyway, because some of them were kind of sloppy, but still, I'm just like, well, I mean, I guess I had some scripts that I actually printed off, but still, most of them were still gone, they were still gone, but yeah, basically, that's kind of the thing there. That's kind of, that's kind of the thing there, I'm like, I don't know, I'm just like, it was a bad year for me, even around this time when this movie came out. I don't know when Captain Underpants, came out, but I know this movie was a really bad time for me, and all that, because of all the drama going on at home and all that, and it was affecting me at school, so, yeah, but I do want to rewatch Captain Underpants, not only for the review, but to see if I still actually hate it. I'm thinking I might do a reaction to it, so I don't know if I'll get it uploaded this week or not, because I might do a reaction video of it, because I've talked about this before on my channel. I actually want to eventually maybe upload my reactions. Of course, I'm recording them from the TV, so I'll probably have to edit them and all that, but I mean, you can see them on the TV, which is fine, but I still want to, add some little background stuff and all that, that way you're not seeing just a regular-looking background, and then I probably will upload them on a different platform besides YouTube, maybe like Patreon or something. I don't know, I haven't really thought about it yet, but that's why I'm making the videos, just in case, because I've been starting to do that for a while. I thought about doing a reaction to this movie, because technically this movie right here, I have not seen the entire movie before I watched it. I definitely have not seen the sequel. I've seen people review it, and I heard that the sequel, which came out a few years later, was better. But I still don't think, I still haven't seen it, and I don't remember much about it. Because I only seen reviews of it, and people kind of just tackled about it. Because a lot of people do ranking videos on this stuff too. So, whenever it's a ranking video, I've talked about this before, with South Park and all that, I've seen some people rank South Park episodes. I don't even remember them, because the ones I have not seen don't stick in my mind very well, which, you think they kind of would. I mean, some of them kind of do, but most of the episodes don't, and all that. That's kind of how it's with ranking videos in general, but sometimes they can, sometimes they will, but, there's this episode of SpongeBob that's in a bubble town and all, and I've not seen that episode, but that one kind of stuck around in my head, despite me not seeing it, but, because people did ranking videos on that show, too. But I'm just like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm just like, most of the time I just don't remember that stuff, and I watched this movie here, and I know a lot of people do not like this movie. A lot of people do not. I don't know if they say it's the worst movie ever. I know that the voice actor for the baby, had a lot of problems. I don't want to bring this up every single time, he appears, but Alec Baldwin voices the baby here, and I know he has had a lot of problems. He's even, killed somebody on set. Yeah, he did. And I'm just like, I'm like, and a lot of people have problems with him. But I still don't mind watching the older movies. I know saying something like that, with him in it, watching the older movies with him in it, and then having this, but honestly, I'm kind of used to it at this point. There's always freaking drama going on behind scenes anymore, even back in the day, some older films, I had some problems with that too. I heard some drama going on behind the scenes and all that. There was this movie called Milo and Otis, there was some drama going on behind the scenes of animals, which I feel bad for the animals, but I don't know. But I'm kind of just like, I do not care for Alec Baldwin, but In this movie, though, he doesn't do a bad job at voicing the baby. I think he does a pretty good job. And that's kind of what I want to talk about this movie. So what is Boss Baby? Like, what is this movie about? Like, what is Boss Baby about exactly? Well, it's about a baby, you know, who's a boss of a company, and apparently he comes from a whole nother world. So he comes from a whole nother world, and in his world, he's the boss. He's the boss of the babies, and I guess they're trying to stop. I can't remember what they were. Sorry, I thought I had something on my phone here. Something popped up in my phone. Never mind. It just randomly turned on for some reason. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I actually had some problems with the phone. I was worried I wasn't gonna have music. Like, it was randomly connecting to the TV. And I don't remember hitting anything, but maybe I did by accident, because sometimes it'll pop up. But it was still asking me about signing in and all, and I didn't have a problem with it. So I don't know. Maybe I canceled it by accident. I don't know. I need to figure out how to do that in case I accidentally do it again, so I can unconnect to the TV, because that was kind of annoying, because I was trying to play the music and all that, and it was playing it on here, and then it randomly connected to the actual TV, not the PS5, you know, and all that. So yeah, I don't know what the heck was going on there, but anywho, I was gonna say about this movie here, so there's apparently supposed to be something cuter than this and all that, and it's gonna run them out of business and all that, and I don't remember exactly the whole plot, because it's been a few weeks since I've seen it, and I don't know if I didn't want to watch the movie again, because yeah, I've kind of already seen it once. I remember a bunch about the movie, but I don't remember exactly. I can't go into exact details of why, what would happen to him. But I remember there's a villain in the movie, you know, who's trying to produce that stuff and all that, and with animals like cats and all that, and he's trying to get revenge on them and all that. Which, by the way, I'm gonna point this out. I will say this is kind of an ironic thing, but the Boss Baby himself, the villain guy who grew up, he looks like an actual, like, he looks like a baby Trump. Like, I'm not kidding. He literally does. Now, I don't know if they were actually, you know, planning on making him, you know, look like that, because I do know at that time Trump was kind of, you know, this movie came out in 2017, and they were already making Trump jokes. But he doesn't really act like Trump, but he just somehow looks like Trump. He's got the blonde hair. He looks very chunky. You know, he's got the suit. The suit kind of looks like Donald Trump's suit. You know, I'm just like, I just like the kind of ironic. But of course, this was in early 2017. You know, too. So the elections just, just happened and all that, so I don't really know, but I know he was probably running before that, but I know Hollywood definitely did not like Trump, and they don't like him now. They're like, a lot of people are leaving Hollywood and all that, you know, so I'm not going to go into too much details, but I do know the Trump jokes kind of got old after a while. Same with Joe Biden's, like, I've seen a lot of people make jokes about him, and they kind of got old after a while, too, and all that, like, instead of making fun of themselves exactly, maybe you should just do something different with them, you know? They did this in the past. They made different jokes with them, and I liked them a bit more, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to kind of stop talking about that stuff and talk about more about the villain himself. On the villain himself, he's all right. I mean, he's not the biggest villain, the biggest thing with this movie. He's not my favorite villain. He's kind of like, I don't think he's an awful villain. I feel like he's kind of up there with the Madagascar 2 villain, where he's, the Madagascar 2 villain, I will say, still better, but I don't think I completely despise this villain. I still like this villain. I just don't like him as much as the other villains, but I do like his kind of plan a little bit. He's trying to put him out of business, and I like they actually give him an actual origin story and all that. I kind of like that. A lot of villains don't really have origin stories. I like that they give him one, which is pretty nice. Like a lot of times in the movies, they just start out as villains. But, I mean, they don't always need origin stories either. Sometimes they can just, again, in Madagascar 2, they don't have an origin story for that villain. He just happens to be evil. Because there's sometimes people who are just evil, But I do like, that they show, that he used to be part of the business and all that. And, he wanted to get revenge and all that, which was pretty nice. In the meantime, we got the boss baby himself going to this parent's house and all that. And I gotta say though, I do like the baby brother. I do like I do like the baby, not the baby. I mean the big brother kid. I do like how he his daydreaming stuff and his imagination. I do like that. That's probably one of my highlights about this movie is the imagination. I feel like they go out of their way to make it interesting, and I like that. I like his parents too, bonding with him, and of course there's a new baby in there, and it makes sense. A lot of times when you have a new baby, and you're not gonna get as much attention. That's just how it works. I know people have mixed opinions on their siblings, because I know some people had siblings who've not treated them well, and then there's some, that do and all that, but feel jealous of them too. It's kind of all over the place. But I do know in this movie, he's technically doing his job and all that, and I do like I do like that and all that. I was thinking they were going to go this route where they were going to make it kind of cringe and make it where he's going to constantly get in trouble and all that, and have his typical plot. This typical plot where the parents are not going to see him and all that, and it's going to constantly get blamed and get in trouble, and it's going to drag out for a while until they finally realize. But no, they don't go that route. I mean, he gets in trouble a few times, but they don't, drag it out for a long time, and he's pretty much just doing his job anyway. He's trying to get things taken care of and all that to save the business. And I like the whole concept, too, that he uses a formula to stay young forever. So, that's pretty cool. I wish I had that. I wouldn't want to be a baby forever, but I would love to, not age, and all that. That would be nice. But I do kind of like that, too. But there's really not a lot to say about this movie either. There's not a lot to say. This movie is, it's very straightforward. I will say it's very straightforward. There's not a lot to say about it. I do like the characters, though. I do like them. Of course, the villain has his henchmen. That seems to be a common trope back in the day. A lot of villains used to have henchmen and all that. They have a sidekick. I mean, Scar had the hyenas, which I guess that's more than one, but they had that. Princess and the Frog had a henchman too. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I guess technically Shrek, had Lord Farquaad, had his had too. I forgot what his name was. With the little hood and all that. And a lot of the characters, had they had a lot of that stuff. They had henchmen and all that. It was kind of a big thing back then, but but I mean, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. It's pretty nice. Seeing kind of them sending their henchmen out at there. But one thing I will say about this is he's not the most interesting one. He's kind of he doesn't say a whole lot of words. I mean, he says some words, but not a lot, and he's kind of crazy, kind of mindless. I mean, he's all right, but he goes after the babies. But what kind of bugs me is out of nowhere he's okay with them and all that, and was trying to take off with, because the villain himself turns back into a baby, and he tries to take off with him and all that, like, and tells, like, he tells them he'll raise him right and all that. So I'm just rolling my eyes. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? Like, he was chasing the babies and all that. And he was chasing the babies, and now he's just suddenly fine with Well, I mean, he's fine with the boss baby and his brother and all that. I don't get it. It felt like it was out of nowhere. It made no absolute sense. I can understand maybe if he was threatening, maybe he's being threatened by the other guy, but he wasn't even being threatened. He was just doing whatever he's told him, like a typical henchman villain will do, Like, I don't really get it. It feels out of place, you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels really out of place, like he's on their side and all that. Like, I don't get it, But, yeah, I don't know, there's not really a whole lot else to say. I do like how, like, at the end of the movie, him and, like, the boss baby and the other kid, end up, bonding, and they actually do miss each other at the end of the movie. And then, they actually become, they become family, I like that. Like, also, I do like how the movie actually, has the older kid, he's as an adult narrating the entire movie. A lot of times they'll do that with stories. They'll have him narrate it, There's also this movie, I definitely don't like it. It was very sad, but there was this movie called, I think it was The Firm Grows or something like that, with like 2 dogs. Somehow there's a freaking sequel to it. I don't know how the hell there's a damn sequel to it, but there's like a sequel to it. It was a really depressing and sad movie. I did not like watching it. We watched it in school and all that back in the day, and I was like, I don't really care for it, but apparently they made a freaking sequel to it. And I'm like, why did they make a sequel to it? I mean, it's kind of how it ended. Unless it's one of those, I can't remember if it was made by Disney or not. I think Disney made, Old Yeller. I think they made Old Yeller, which is also a sad movie. Like, Disney's known for making some sad scenes in movies, but trust me, that movie was freaking very sad. Like, it was sad, like, and it was very sad. Like, I kind of felt, the kid was poor and all that, but I'm like, how the hell did he get, how the hell did he get a sequel? Unless it's going to tell beforehand, or they're just going to buy another, he's just going to buy him more dogs, but I'm like, I don't know, they look like the same exact dogs, so I don't know, sometimes dogs can look identical, but, I don't know, it's just confusing, but yeah, there was he did have an older voice actor, like, narrating the entire movie, but we never see him in the actual movie playing the older kid. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. But in this movie, we actually see the actual older version of him, too. I don't remember if we would see the boss baby himself as an older kid, I do know we get to see the girl, like, who will appear in the second movie, because I've seen trailers of it, but, and like I said, I've seen people review it, but I don't remember that as well, but I don't know, but I'm like, I think it's kind of cool how they kind of fast forward time and all. That's pretty cool. I don't know if they remember that stuff or not, but like if or they get their memories blanked, because the babies blanked the parents' memories, but I don't know. I think that's kind of weird, too, how they blank the memories and all that, too, as the babies. I feel like it'd make more sense just to keep their memories there, that way they don't have to worry about going bankrupt again, But I guess, I don't know, I guess they want people to know that they're cute, too, and all that, so they can keep the profits up, too. Maybe that's why, because I don't know, I don't think a talking baby probably be as cute as a regular baby, especially a baby who has an adult voice like Alec Baldwin, that probably wouldn't be as cute. But you know what I mean. Like, I feel like it's kind of a little bit weird, but it's one of those tropes. But I don't think it's as bad as other shows and movies where they have to blank the characters' memories to basically force the plot back to normal. Even though, like, sometimes I feel like it's not necessary. Like Incredibles 2, where they changed, they like blanked, they blanked on what was her name? But yeah, Violet's boyfriend's memory in the second movie. I thought that was stupid. They did the same thing in the like Johnny Test episode with Dookie, which ended up becoming probably my least favorite Johnny Test episode of all time. It was really bad. But that show honestly was kind of mixed for people's audiences. People are starting to like the show now, but I know a lot of people still don't like it. But speaking of which, this movie, I'm gonna say right now, will be getting a good and a 120 points. Yep. Unlike Johnny Test, I don't really see why people completely hate this movie. I mean, Johnny Test, there are quite a few episodes of that show where people don't like it, but this show, I feel like they do this. I think it's all right. Like, I think it's worthy 120. I was thinking about giving it a lower score though, because just because the plot's kind of very straightforward. But I think it deserves 120 because there's not really a whole lot wrong with it, and it's still a nice movie. But I don't know why people hate it. But I don't hate this movie. I don't think it's as bad as other people. But I was actually meant to give it. Yeah, like I said, I was gonna give it a lower score, like a 90 something points, maybe 100. But I decided to keep it like this just because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it 120 because I still think there's a lot to like about the movie too. But yeah, I don't think it's my favorite DreamWorks movie. It's probably one of the weaker ones, but definitely still not bad. I think it's definitely overhated, but I don't think it's like the greatest one either. Like, it is very straightforward in the plot. Same with Trolls. Trolls is the exact same way, but I don't know. I kind of like this movie maybe more than Trolls. I don't know. I had to watch Trolls again and for both of them back to back to kind of see which one. But I remember Trolls kind of like being, well, I mean, this movie looks better than Trolls. Like, I like the art style, or they kind of mix, like they give the humans different eyes and all that. I kind of like that, but Trolls are, I talked about how I don't like the character designs for the certain characters, like those creatures and all those unhappy creatures, the trolls get eaten by and all. I don't like their designs much. And I mean, I kind of wasn't as invested in the characters as I am in this movie. But I will say though, I do think Trolls was more colorful and more pretty to look at too, minus again like some of the character designs. Where like this movie is kind of more so on like focusing on story and all that too, but but it kind of reminds me of Luigi's Mansion, the original game, which by the way I did do a review on that movie too. I did a review on that movie. I might put it in the description too for you guys, just so you guys can see it. Did I say movie? I hope I didn't say movie. I meant to say game. Sorry, game. I'm used to reviewing movies. I do want to review some more games down the road, but that game had like the baby as the boss. I can't remember if I made a reference to that or not in that video, but yeah, there's like you capture the parents, the mom and dad, and then you capture the baby, and the baby is actually the boss. It's a funny twist. I don't think that's where they got this idea at. It probably just randomly popped up, they're probably having a board meeting or something, and they're like, hey, I have an idea. Like, what if the boss babe, what if the baby is the boss? we'll switch it up. You know, I don't know if they probably got the idea from, Luigi's Mansion. I mean, they might have, but I don't know. But I still think it's kind of cool. It kind of have something to remind me of it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't think this movie's that bad. I still think it's pretty good, but definitely, again, not one of my favorite DreamWorks movies, but definitely don't hate it. So far, there has not been a whole lot of DreamWorks movies I completely despised, but there has been some I didn't care about really at all, or flat out hated. I mean, like Turbo. Turbo was a very, very boring movie. There were some moments that saved it from a complete bad, but it was kind of in a similar way where the plot was kind of just straightforward, but there wasn't really a whole lot going on in the movie, and the characters were not that interesting. And in this movie, at least there's stuff going on in the movie and all that, which saves it, but I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and probably let things go from here, though, anyway. So, I will see you guys, later. Tell me what you guys think about this movie in the comments below. Yeah, see you guys later. Bye-bye.